them and go pick them up on Thursday or something, and then pay full price, even though half the pictures were blurry and things, you know. There was no question. They were making money every step of the way. So Kodak were very slow. When the internet came along, Kodak were one of the companies that just said, oh, we don't need that modern stuff, we'll be okay. And I think they've gone out of existence now. And I think really they went out probably within 15 years. So from a massive company that were all over the world, they've just completely gone now. And the reason was that they didn't keep up with the times. Because customers now, certainly your generation, are no longer loyal. You're not loyal to a product, are you? No? True? So, for example, and I'm not loyal, and I was kind of, probably the first, 20, 30 years of my life, I was still in that loyal thing, but then suddenly somebody got hold of the world and just threw everything up in the air, and, cards went everywhere. And, I changed I'm terrible now, because I changed my electric company, for example, every 12 months, maybe every 6 months. Because when somebody rings up and says, oh, your deal's running out, and Vodafone's another example, oh, your deal's running out, should we just renew it? And I say, no. And they say, oh, why? And I say, well, I'll go to another one, and they'll give me $50 or something like that. And they say, oh, I'll give you $60. So the customer has suddenly become king, in a way, yeah. So we, as customers, have got the power, yeah? We've got the power. Customers, because there is so much choice. Now there are companies like Apple that have kind of got a monopoly still, but they know that if they ever become Kodak in their thinking, they're going to die, and they'll die very quickly overnight. So they spend a lot of money on market research and looking for the next innovation and things. So. Yeah, and satisfaction doesn't stop taking business to a competitor. Like I say, I go home, I plug in my jug, I get boiling water, I turn on my TV, the electric's fine, the price is all right, I've got to pay it. It's no cheaper, I'll probably save $1 if I look around. But when they phone me up, and they always phone me up when I'm having my tea, which is not a good idea, but they always phone up and say, oh, do you want to change electric companies? A new company phones up and says, oh, come to Genesis. Why, what's the deal? Who are you with at the moment? And they read out all this stuff and they say, oh, we're making $20 a month cheaper. Why am I not going to go with Genesis? There's nothing wrong with the company I'm with. I'm going to go to them. Yeah? And yeah, as you get older, you get wiser to it as well. and yeah. So, always remember that it's not always about satisfaction. Customer relations is not always about satisfaction. You can think that, you own a restaurant, somebody comes in, they have a wonderful night, they have a perfect meal, everything. You might never see them again because, it could be just circumstances. They may live too far away and they come on a special trip or something. But that doesn't mean to say that you mustn't treat them any differently. Because the biggest thing about customers is what? What do customers do more than anything?
Satisfaction.
Sorry?
Satisfaction.
Yeah, but what can customers do?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah? Now, I don't know the figures, maybe I should have looked them up, but McDonald's, millions and millions of dollars. Apple, millions and millions of dollars spent on market research and marketing. TV adverts, anywhere, posters all over the place, internet all over the place. You got McDonald's everywhere. But people do not necessarily return where they've had complete satisfaction. But what they do is they say, and this morning a colleague of mine, it was her birthday yesterday, and I said, did you go out last night? She said, yeah, I went to a really nice Filipino restaurant in Royal Oak, okay? And I'd not heard of it. I'm thinking, no, I don't think, yeah. So, I'm tempted to go now. She's told me, she's told probably 10 other people in the office, and she's given a positive review. She's not sat down on the restaurant review thing, a forgotten what it's called, but like the TripAdvisor of restaurants saying this meal was lovely, what a great time. Because, you know, we haven't got time to do that. We haven't got time to sit there and write reviews. But she's told us. Now that place is registered in my mind. And one day, and you know, sooner rather than later, they got another customer. Yeah? But if I was reading a newspaper, I was on the internet and a thing popped up saying, try this great Filipino restaurant in, it's not necessarily going to work for me. Yeah? So sometimes, you know, knowing the right place to advertise is important. But the really important thing is you've still got to give everyone 100% as customers, because it takes one person to say you're rubbish and 10 people listen. It takes one person to say you're good and probably 2 or 3 people listen. Okay? Negative goes a long, long way. And it takes a long way to get rid of damage. So that's back to where I said, that's why I'm a bit skeptical about things like TripAdvisors. You know, because a lot of reviews are written by people that have got different standards to me. They may have different cultures to me, you know. I mean, what they find is not satisfactory for them doesn't matter to me, because I come from a different kind of cultural background, you know. So there's lots of things that customers have got differences anyway. We're not all the same, so how can we make 100% all the time? Okay, so we get on to the loyalty schemes, which was quite a good way. Loyalty schemes are a good way of getting customers back. It's proven. Okay, so this is really the crux of this meeting, this talk. Okay, so what I want to do is just get some idea. Now, I hope I haven't missed anyone out, but this is my cut and paste. So we've got Indian, we've got some Filipinos. Hello. I went to the Philippines at Christmas. Chinese? You Chinese? Good. I thought you were going to say I'm Korean. Spanish, I heard there was a Spanish person. He's absent.
Yeah, absent.
Spain were playing last night. Yeah. Okay, no worries, no worries. So what I want to do is just find out about some loyalty schemes. See what you understand by loyalty schemes that customers do. Okay, so what have we got in New Zealand? Let's start in your own country. No, let's start in New Zealand first. Tell me about some loyalty schemes. What's the easiest one?
Black cats.
Sorry?
Black cats.
Black cats.
All bloods.
Yeah, but what? No. A loyalty scheme.
Loyalty cards.
I don't mean. I think you're confusing. I'm saying who are New Zealanders loyal to. I don't mean that.
Like one card for countdown.
What I mean, yeah, right. So what I've got here is a coffee card.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've got a coffee card. This is what a loyalty scheme is. Okay, this is a great way of customer relationships. This straight away means that I go back to this coffee house, not every day, but quite a lot more. Yeah. Now in Auckland, there's more coffee houses than there's Indians in Auckland, I tell you. Everywhere you go, there's a coffee house, yeah?
That's true.
And they all do this. They all have to do this. But what are they actually giving me? What are they actually giving me?
You go back again and again.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I'm going back and again. So what do? I go 1, 2,
You have us to
3,
get the
4,
free
5.
coffee?
I go 5, I go on my 6th time I get a free coffee.
To make them feel like they're very special for the
I do. And when these first come out, you do feel like you're special. Now, I mean, the trouble, and that's another problem. You know, this is not unique anymore. So it kind of, you expect it all the time. And that's another problem, really. And I'll just talk about that quickly. You know, a company comes out with a really good idea. And I can remember, you know, supermarkets always used to have buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Now you have to buy 2 before you get one free, you know, so it's kind of lost its, and it just becomes the normal. But this is still really important. Now my wife's got a purse, and it's like this big, and it's this wide, because it's just full of coffee cards. And every time we go, oh, it's so annoying. We sit down for a coffee, and she says, I'll find me a coffee card. And she's going back and blowing dust off these cards and then they say, oh, we don't do that anymore because we've got new managers. So anyway, but there are so many cards, okay? Now, how much is this costing the business? How much would this cost you? If you owned a coffee shop, how much would this cost you?
Just one card?
No, I mean the whole package. How much is it going to cost for a free coffee?
$20.
Well, I'll tell you how much this costs you. You could probably get 1,000 of these printed for how much? What? 10 bucks? Yeah. Okay. So 1,000. So that's cost. You know, it's cost you less than 50 cents. Less. 20 cents probably. It's cost to print that. Okay, at the most. Yeah. And that's probably exaggerating. How much is the coffee going to cost? How much is a coffee?
$5.
Yeah, but how much is a coffee to a coffee shop?
Maybe maximum you can say around $2. Maximum everything. If
75 cents to make a coffee.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of milk and all that. So it's $1. Okay. So for around about $1, they've got me to come in. Okay. Now, where's the benefit? Where's the benefit? Because they're actually, if you like, they sell a coffee to me for $4. So where's the benefit? Because they're losing $3. Well, say it's $5 for a coffee. It's cost them $1. They've lost $4. So where's the benefit?
But they have a regular customer.
Good. And what do regular customers do?
Spread the word.
I've done this several times. I've been in the office. I thought, oh God, I need a coffee. Now I've gone straight to them. They're quite near to us. You know, I've not walked right down Queen Street or anything, but I've gone back to them. So instead of making one coffee or losing $4, really they spring to mind. That name goes straight in my brain, and it says, "Oh, I need a coffee. Go to Cream Coffee House." Okay, so they may actually get me another, say, 4 times in a month than they would have done without this card, because psychologically we're trained to recognise names, and you know these things spring up in our mind. So that is better than advertising on TV. If they said on TV, "Come to our shop tomorrow and you'll get a free coffee," nobody would go. It'd be a waste of money, waste of advertising. So advertising doesn't have to be big, you know, firework displays and all this. Sometimes it's the really small stuff that works better. And word of mouth costs you nothing. Costs you absolutely nothing. It just costs you your time and your politeness when the people are in there, and your standard. And then you get, and this is the best customer relation of all. The other thing is, if I go in there and I'm having a free coffee, I might think, oh, I might have a muffin today as well. So they've actually made money. And companies like Hollywood Bakery, you know Hollywood Bakery? Yes. Chinese guy started it, and he's a very rich man now. And they're everywhere, aren't they? And they actually give a coffee and a muffin before 11 o'clock or something. You know? Ideal. Suits people that, you know, like pensioners who've probably got more money than anyone when they first retire. You go there at 10 o'clock, and I know you don't because you're all at school, but the place is absolutely packed out with people just because they advertise free muffin. But they are taking much more money than giving away a free muffin. And the fact that there's, you know, there was only one Hollywood Bakery probably, what, 10 years ago, and now there's probably 1,000, I don't know. It proves that, you know, it's a really growing, it's a really good thing. Okay, so that's an example of a Kiwi thing. Anything else? I've got loads of loyalty cards in here. So let's move away from coffee. What's the next one? I've got AirPoints. Wow, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Hey, I can fly anywhere in the world. Do you know, once I saved up for 2 years, and I worked out that I could fly from Auckland to the end of the runway, because I was just not getting AirPoints. It was every time I went for petrol, I got 0.6 of an AirPoint or something. But I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked. You know, and fine. I mean, you know, I'm lucky enough now to travel a bit, and that's when this kicks in. So I fly all the way to Hawaii and back, and then I fly off to the Philippines and back, and I got a free trip to Rotorua. You know, but it's great. It's absolutely brilliant, this thing, AirPoints. And New Zealanders are hooked on AirPoints. Now there's a company called Westpac, the bank, that have just stolen, just really cleverly, I think, a contract from, I think it was Nzse, and it's an AirPoint scheme with Westpac. So every time you spend money on your Westpac credit card, you get an air point. You have to spend $75